Hey everyone, Dooms here, back with another video. Today we're trying to explain new concepts within Wild Rift. They might be a bit unknown to you, or you might have heard of it, but it's still a bit strange or not clear. So yeah, let's get right into it. Today we'll try to explain what tempo is. So yeah, what is tempo exactly? How can you define it? How can you use it individually or as a team? Yeah, how can you win more games with it? Because that's the point, you know. Let's find out. Alright, so before getting into what tempo is exactly, I just want to thank my girlfriend and also my editor Headmax who created this introduction and this logo for me. Thanks to both of you, I really appreciate it. So yeah, what is tempo? Let's jump into it right now. There are two crucial concepts in it, solo tempo and team tempo. Let's start with solo tempo. What is it? It's the ability to play the map around your own timers as efficiently as you can to maximize your power. Whether it's gold, experience, information, vision, invade, whatever it is, as soon as you get stronger out of it, its power, you're playing your tempo as you can or should. How can you do that? Through either farming or rotating and finding the right balance between both of those concepts. So obviously farming is going to give you gold and experience. It's needed to win a game. Let's agree on that. But rotating is also important. What do you win out of it? You win information as vision, as I said. You know where the enemy is, which place you can do, or maybe if you gotta be a bit more careful if the enemy junglers is coming to gank you, whatever. Um, so yeah, this is crucial too, and you really gotta be able to individually find the right balance. This also depends of your own champion you're playing. Let's say you're playing Rakan with an APC bot laner, which is the meta right now. Well, he's gonna take care of the lane himself. You can start rotating, getting information, impacting other lanes more than the APC lane, who's gonna be quite sleepy. Let's not lie. Quick example as a mid laner too. This isn't the best example ever, but let's say you're playing Ahri at mid lane. It's very classical, where it's in a bot matchup, so it's gonna be a Garen, whatever. What can you do as Ahri? You're gonna have naturally Prio. She's clearing very fast, whether it's early or when she spikes with Ludens or whatever. She has her Q to quickly clear, her E when needed in later stages or against the cannon wave. But let's say it's wave 1, you want information, like let's say the enemy plays Lee Sin jungle or whatever. What can you do? You can start getting information. How? You've cleared your wave, you maximized farming, and now you get info. You pop their plant, you can place a ward wherever you want, doesn't really matter. Popping the plant gives you info. Is the jungler on red buff? Did he finish it? Is he already on raptors? Is he not at all there? Like, is his red buff still up and is he maybe on blue side? This is important for your allies. If you clear another wave, you can start maybe rotating and stuff like that. So yeah, you've got plenty of possibilities as an individual player to win individual tempo, if you've got the prio in lane or not. The Garen here could have said, okay, maybe my plant is too important, I need to keep my junglers pathing secrets, I drop my 2 minions. I don't think it's worth it, but it's an example. He's finding his balance. Is more farming more important or rotating? I gotta choose one or the other. Now there's team tempo. This is like the bigger picture, I really like that. What is it? It's the ability to efficiently synchronize multiple tempos into one collective play. Why? Again, to maximize the whole team's power or situation within the game. So how can you do that? You gotta coordinate multiple individual tempos to go for objectives. What is an objective exactly? It's the classical Drake or Herald, but it's also putting some vision down, or a jungle invade, or a dive. Speaking of a dive, let's show a good example of some team tempo. Up, paint, I know, old school vibes, right? Alright, Panso, let's say, so the blue side, you're playing Ahri, you've got, I don't know, a Fiora here, strong and early, why not? And the enemy plays, I don't know what plays in the turret, let's say plays Z, and top lane, who's in the turret, Garen. Okay, well, you don't really want to dive a Garen, but whatever. Let's say Ahri has plenty of prio, she cleared her wave, what can she do? She can start rotating. As we have shown, there's a plant here she can pop, she can start putting vision here more aggressive, maybe ward blue buff, whatever. All those stuff she can do. What can she do in a team tempo environment though? If she pushed a wave and Fiora, let's say, has a crashing wave, which is 10,000 of small minions, and Garen only has 2 or 3, okay, you know with 2 or 3 minions versus 10, if Fiora doesn't push too much, it's gonna crash in, I don't know, 10 seconds, something like that. Well, Ari can, in 10 seconds, try to come up and dive. Okay, a Garen, maybe it's not the best idea, but maybe you can add another timer. Let's say your jungler is here, I don't know, Jarvan, Lee Sin, whatever you want. You can try to go for a dive. I'm not saying it's a perfect play again against the Garen, but you see, you synchronize multiple timers to do that. Now, let's say the jungler isn't here but is taking the enemy blue buff. You're not going to do this. Why? Because your timers don't coordinate. Your jungler isn't ready to dive. Garen is tough to dive, so you maybe can't do it as 2 Fiora Ari. So what can you do? You can maybe go support your jungler here. Make sure the mid laner Zed can not move. Like he cannot do that because he's gonna lose a whole wave. Yeah, he can move, but he's gonna lose, I don't know, 200, 400, 600 gold. He can't, he has to choose, he has to find the balance, and for a Zed who needs gold, the balance is getting the minions. So RB can try to move. Maybe they can do for a bot lane dive, whatever. So yeah, this requires a lot of communication, a lot of map awareness. But if Fiora communicates she has a big wave crashing in 30 seconds, the jungler can try to go for it. Maybe it's jungler who shouldn't be invading blue buff if Fiora has such a beautiful opportunity. You gotta find the right balance as a team. There's pretty much never perfect play. It's always about, okay, I've got some risk, I've got opportunities, what do I choose to do, what's the best for my team. Okay. So yeah, to give you two good examples, or at least a good and maybe a less good one. Let's start with absolutely perfect one, of course, because it's Rix's play from yesterday in the WREC. Obviously, it's not perfect. It's just a good example for today's video. So we've got a couple. Okay, maybe a bit too far. Let's get back into it. Okay, so we see Lucian against Jay Smith. We've got a Lee Sin who's wanting to spike early, obviously, especially against Graves who scales really well. We see Lucian has the prio mid, which is good. What do? We send even Rakan to get a bit of prio. We have Lee Sin hovering too. They have Galio, they have Graves. I'm not saying it's easy, but we have information, we have power. We have Lee Sin who can go immediately recede right here for the blue buff, uncontested, because we have the info on Graves, he's gonna go for Scuttle, we can get it for free. That's the first start of, okay, how can we win with solo tempo? First example. Now let's see an example of team tempo. We see again that we're getting prio mid. We had info on Graves, we see we have the prio mid because we know Jay is backed. What can we do? We see Lee Sin or Rakan, I don't know, pinging to go for the enemy jungle. It's an opportunity, but right now, what can we see too? Garen has a wave that's pushing. He's strong, Gragas is diveable, plus Garen has the ignite, Gragas doesn't have a barrier. Gragas without barrier is pretty easy, especially since he doesn't have ultimate yet. That's why we're trying to go in now. So how can we do it? We send Rakan. Clue is really aware of the situation. He's going straight. 7, same. Even if there's a ward here, we don't know that, we can do it because he isn't 5. So we assess the risk, we check, okay, what is Gragas' power, what is our power, where are the other enemies, etc. Can we do it? Yes, if we're fast. What do? We just go in, up, first blood, and we get out. Very clean, very fast. It's not the biggest advantage ever, but it's exactly what we need as a comp with Lee Sin, Garen, Rakan, etc. That's the power of having prio and rotating people. Now, maybe a slightly less good example. So to give you the situation, Entropic was playing against Navi. It was quite equal. They're 2k behind, but they've got the 2 best Drakes in the game. They're scaling, chill. They've got Lee Sin who's good in the game, Morgana too. And what can they do in addition? You see they lost the 2 top and bot towers. Doesn't matter that much, except Fiora got the gold, so Fiora is strong. But they still have mid tower. We see it right here. What does it enable them? Plenty of stuff. Let's show you again. Up. Okay, we've got a map right here. let's say those two turrets are down. No, let's start with the clean game. The power line between both teams is gonna be here. Like here, it's gonna be red side power. Like this is red side of the map, and this is blue side. Okay. Now let's say you lose those two towers right there. Up, no more tower, and no more tower. It's gonna be way tougher. You're maybe gonna start big cuts like that. Maybe, depending on your spikes of champions, whatever. But yeah, Morgana here won't go further than this. She can't. You're gonna take some risks by going here, which means enemies can place a ward, like maybe here or whatever, to know if you rotate. They've got more power, right? But your mid tower is so good. Why? Because compared to, for example, let's say yellow is gonna be bright. If you lose your mid tower in addition, boom, you only get this. What is the big difference? You'll say, okay, this is not that much, you know. It is. Why? Because you lose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 jungle camps. Literally, the whole jungle can be contested. I'm not saying you will lose it systematically, but you lose it in plenty of times, or it's contested. You're gonna be taking more risks when trying to take your jungle camp. They can dive you, they can put vision, whatever it is. So this mid lane tower is so important. But as we said, good thing for them, they've got Morgana, right? Like this tower shouldn't fall. Morgana is really strong. She can reset her W, so she's easily clearing waves. Even 1v2 against Senna and Galio, she can. But since she's alone and Trash isn't impacting the wave, she's gonna be a bit later than them. She's gonna clear under tower, as we said, because she lost those two. She doesn't have any help right now. She's gonna be late. Alright, that isn't such an issue if she has to back. That's okay. At least I think she's backing. Yeah, she is. She's backing. Okay. Another wave is coming. Entropic, don't get me wrong, are synchronizing multiple timers. They're doing a play here. They're gonna kill Camille. It's really good. But Navi seed it instantly and react, okay? She's barely dead that Fiora and Galio already go for mid. Why? Because they see the opportunity to unlock this and contest therefore the whole map's control. Trash is hesitating, he's thinking, okay, do I have to go back or not? Yes, you do. One of those two should go to. Why? Because as we said, you lose the mid tower, you lose plenty of stuff. Like maybe this turret is worth, I don't know, 1k gold, let's say. But this turret right here is just as much, 1k gold instantly. And it also lives rent-free for the rest of the game by giving you gold, vision, dominance, info, whatever you want. Everything we talked about. So they're synchronizing multiple timers to collapse. They got a side wave pushing, so Diana can't rotate. Fiora is fed, she gets a tower in 3 seconds and a half, and Morgana isn't there back in time. I'll be honest, Entropic I think has played maybe a bit better than Navi this first game at least, not game 2, but game 1 I think they were better, but simply because of this, they're giving them a 5-6k gold worth of advantage just on this, because they synchronize timers, but they don't recognize what they have to synchronize for, they don't react in time, etc. Morgana should have communicated, Thresh should have said, I'm not going solo there, I gotta go now. Diana should say, okay, I can't move, I'm being pushed in, whatever. That's what you gotta do. They're fighting, okay, they might be pretty much even, they might have this or that, but in the long run, you'll see Navi's gonna dominate the map more and more and more, and they end up winning 2-0. Spoilers, sorry. So yeah, now let's quickly round up this video with, okay, what can I do to improve my own tempo? There are 5 points. First of all, there's timer knowledge, so know when your waves are collapsing, know when your jungle camps might respawn or whatever, to make sure you're as efficient as possible to get the gold, the experience, etc. Or to know what you're sacrificing if you're doing something else. It's really important to know all of that. Then know what your micro possibilities are. So let's say you're playing Lee Sin, you're gonna have other possibilities in early game than Jax or Kha'Zix, whatever. Your champions define what you can do and what you cannot do, and you gotta play according to that. But also know your macro duties this time. Let's say you're playing Lee Sin, for example. If you're playing with a Pantheon top, and I don't know which early, maybe Lucian mid, whatever, you're gonna dominate early. You have to, because the other comp is gonna outskill you if they play, I don't know, Senna, Jax, and Kha'Zix, I don't know, whatever. They're gonna outskill you, you gotta impact early, you gotta snowball this game. In the opposite, if you play Lee Sin, but you're here to manage the early game while your whole team is scaling, you're just here to avoid losing too much early, go ahead, chill a bit, make sure this or that scaling carry gets a bit of gold, but you don't have to put insane tempo on the game. Now, fourth point is the risk assessment. So whatever you're doing, assess the risks. Okay, I'm winning this out of this play, but I'm also losing that. Can I win more? Can I win less? Can I lose more? Can I lose less? What are the risks that this or that increases? And this leads to the fifth point. It's evaluate the risks worth, or the need at least. Let's say you're 10k gold behind at 5 minutes. Even the biggest risks, if it enables you to maybe get back into the game, go for it. You know, like, this is your last chance. You gotta try. Let's say you're even, you gotta evaluate a bit more. If you're 5k ahead, you want to take risks because you know you're not risking too much. You're 5k ahead at 3 minutes. You can try a play, and even if it's throw, whatever, we're stronger. There's a possibility. Or in the opposite, okay, you're 10k gold ahead, but their champions are scaling. Try to go for the safe place because you can't really give them too much gold. Or in the opposite, they're scaling now, they're starting to scale. You gotta play now because this is your chance and you gotta end the game right now. You know? So all those risks and its needs or worth have to be evaluated by you, how you play. Whether it's in a solo ranked game, if you're playing Fiora top, what do I have to do, what can I do, etc. Or if you're playing Rakan in competitive environment, you gotta adapt to the whole team because this is a 5v5 game. So yeah, I hope this video will help you to manage your solo tempo and your team tempo better, understand what tempo is, and maybe use it in your everyday games. I hope you liked it. Feel free to send feedback my way, whether on Discord, Twitter, the links will be below. And yeah, hope you have a great day and see you soon. Bye bye.